yeah, thanks for tuning in and supporting what me and Abel and Kieran are doing over on this channel. Right. So that was all positive, all nice and that, but this is not. Before we
No,
get into the ratings, Abel, I didn't watch the game. I've watched highlights. How bad was it for West Ham?
awful, awful. Words can't describe how awful they were.
Like,
All of them players should be hanging their heads up in shame. I'm sorry,
yeah,
but they should.
yeah. I mean, what do you put it down to? I know in your fan cams, you was asking some of the fans, do you think it was down to the weather? Do you think it was down to the weather?
I mean, my mum thought it was down to the weather, so then I was using one of my mum's opinions to see if they agreed with that. But I don't think it was down to the weather because it was the same weather for Palace, wasn't it?
Exactly. And to be fair, on these pitches, even with the rain and all that, the pitch just becomes a lot quicker. So, it doesn't have puddles, it doesn't have big holes in it. It just makes it, if you can pass the ball, you're going to be passing the ball even quicker. And West Ham obviously can't pass the ball, can we?
No.
Nah. Right, we will get into the ratings, and then you can, if you want to, you can go into detail as to why you're giving that player that rating. Before we get into the ratings, right, and without saying too much, no, actually, we won't do that because we're going to get to David Moyes in the ratings, right? So what I'm going to do is, because we haven't got anything like fully prepared, I'm going to go through the lineups, and you give me your ratings, yeah? So obviously, starting in goal was Lucas Fabianski.
I might rate him a 6, but I don't know if the last minute goal from Palace from Elise was deflected or it was just a good shot on poor goalkeeping by him. Was it deflected?
It was definitely deflected. Me personally, I wouldn't fault Fabianski for that goal, but yeah, that's my opinion. It came off of Cresswell, I think.
Zuma.
Oh, no, I think it was Cresswell it came off. I think.
Yeah, it must have.
So what are you going to rate him? 6?
Nah, 7.
You're giving Fabianski a 6, yeah?
7.
For Fabianski?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. One sec. Let me get back to where I was. Okay, so, oh my gosh, one sec, Abel. West Ham. 1 minute. Lineups. Right, so at right back, we had Thilo Kehrer. What are you rating him?
5, pretty average.
Yeah?
He didn't do that much in the game.
Yeah.
At all. So, yeah, 5.
Before I move on, do you blame him or Dawson for the first goal?
Both of them.
Okay, cool. Right, so he gets a 5. All right, we're moving on to Craig Dawson. What are you rating him?
5.
5 out of 10?
Yeah, again. Because it was both of their faults, wasn't it?
So 5. All right, now obviously Kurt Zouma.
I like his mentality. I like the way he gets forward.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rate him a 7.
Yeah.
Because he was passing the ball.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think all the team did lazy. You might think the same.
I remember I've only watched the highlights and there weren't really that many highlights for West Ham, was there? So, but you was in the stadium.
For Palace. So. Yeah.
So Zouma gets a 7 off you, yeah?
Yeah. You're not going to believe what I say about Antonio, trust me.
All right, so Aaron Cresswell, what are you rating him?
4. 5, because it was his fault and it wasn't his fault that it deflected. Because would it have gone in maybe if he wouldn't have tried to get himself involved?
I don't know, but obviously he's got to try and block the shot, any. So whoever, you can't fault the defender for that one. So you're saying 5? He's had an average game.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So as always, in the middle, it was Souček and Rice. So we'll start with Thomas Souček for you.
Maybe 5 again.
Average.
Yeah, average.
So he gets a 5. What about Declan Rice?
A 6, because he's become too, predictable.
Mm.
Like, I didn't like the way how he was doing poor balls, like with no effort in him, and
Yeah.
like when he does those balls, it, when he does those balls, there's no effort in them, and when we tried to win the header, we didn't win it because like sometimes they were too high, sometimes they were too low.
Yeah. All right. So he gets a 6. Where do we go? Let me go to Lucas Paqueta on his return. What would you give him?
A 5,
5,
averagely.
average as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
Most of these players
Yeah.
have been average.
Yeah. And that's fair enough.
Yeah.
5 is bang average, and that makes a lot of sense. I'm assuming some people get even lower than that, which is it shouldn't be the case, but I think it is going to be in your rating. So, let's go on to Jared Bowen.
4.
I had a feeling that was coming. Yeah, why? You don't have to say too much. But how comes he gets a 4?
I never thought that I'd be rating him a 4 because what the season he had.
So sorry, what were you saying about Bowen? You don't.
No, I don't think these classes are at Ori's form anymore. I don't think they'd be getting on the plane to Qatar because you have to prove yourself for an amount of seasons to get into the England squad, like Declan did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
a 4.
He gets a 4. Now, this is in regards to England. Do you think that even though they don't play in the same position, even though this player has actually operated off the right, do you think James Maddison deserves to be on that plane more so than Jared Bowen?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
He's more consistent than Bowen.
Yep.
He's more skillful.
Yeah.
He's better at set pieces.
Yeah, and he's having, he's in the form of his life as well. So he should be on that plane. He really should be. So
definitely. No, I thought that he was a reserve.
He's not even. Nah, he used to get in, and then he doesn't. So we're just hoping. Well, I'm hoping that he gets on that plane. He deserves it.
Yeah.
All right. Your audio's gone a bit funny, but I don't want to touch anything just in case it cuts off again. So right. So before we get to the striker, we have our goal scorer, and that was Said Benrahma. What are you rating him?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10, yeah?
Our best player right now.
And the thing is,
right now.
So you've given him a 9, and everybody else has got 5s and a 4. No, we'll speak about that when we get to the manager, actually. So there's no point. So you give him a 9, yeah? And I'm assuming you feel he shouldn't have come off when he did.
Definitely. He shouldn't have come off at half time because we would have standed half a chance to get a second goal.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I don't think he came off at half time. He came off on 64 minutes, but we'll speak about that. Yeah, so he didn't come off at half time. He came on 64 minutes. But obviously, Bowen stayed on.
Yeah, like, that don't make no sense. Why would the manager keep a player on was doing really nothing, then take a player off was basically effectively carrying the whole team?
Yeah. Well, we will, I want to hear your views in a minute on the manager. Right, so the last player that started the game was Gianluca Scamacca. What are you rating him and why, please?
A 5. Like, when he came in through England in East London,
yeah.
As soon as those plane wheels landed in England, I thought that he might have been one of the top scorers of the season. But a player with like what I've seen from him, I just don't think he could do it in the Premier League.
Wow. So you gave him a 5, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Let me go.
You know what he's like?
Yeah.
He's like Haller. Like that volley what he scored against Wolves. You know what? I'm not going to say that he's lazy. I'm just going to say that I don't think we're using him right.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.